I thought I'd go over some of the best vehicles for you to use in Roblox Jailbreak. Now, I'd like to divide this in two ways very quickly. So, I'm gonna go through some of the best limited vehicles last, and I'm gonna go through some of the best purchasable vehicles first. So, vehicles that you're able to obtain, I'm gonna go through first, since those are more common throughout everyone. And then vehicles that are limited, I'm gonna go through last, since those are a little bit harder to obtain. But that will be fine. So we'll just start. Let's go. So for the first vehicle, I know what you're thinking. This is a Model 3. In terms of your first vehicle, which would be a pretty big purchase in Jailbreak, because there's a lot of cheap cars, and you probably want to get the best. In terms of everything, grinding for a Model 3 is probably one of the best decisions you can make. Getting a Model 3 as your first car is probably going to be the best car you can get, because when you have a level 1 engine, it's some of the best acceleration. It's good handling, good acceleration, good controlling, a good speed at a level 1 engine, which would make it very easy to start grinding to get up to a level 5 engine, which just makes it a completely good car. So for about maybe 66 grand, you can get yourself a really good starter car, and it's really good, it's cheap, a good way to drive around and grind around the map. You did about 150 miles per hour, good acceleration, good handling, everything like that. Easy to get, really good car. I would recommend the Model 3 being your first car in the game. The next car you could get is the Lamborghini. So at 100k, so let's say you buy a Model 3. At 100k, the Lamborghini is a very good car. It's got good top speed, good acceleration. It's got good handling. It's got, the Lamborghini is overall just a upgrade from the Model 3, as it can go a little bit faster. I accidentally pressed the ST, so I stopped it there for a second. But the Lamborghini is going to be one of the better cars you can go for at the 100k price line. So I recommend maybe going Model 3 than Lamborghini, because everyone wants to have that nice little sport car in it. It's a little rough on the turning, but Lamborghini, again, definitely a good pick. I definitely would recommend it. Another car I'd recommend getting for about 399k, I believe. If any of these prices are wrong, the prices are going to be on the screen, so if I'm stupid, then yeah. I would recommend getting the XRK, about 300k, and you got yourself a very solid car. Not only does it look nice, actually incredibly nice and a very nice looking car, but it has really good acceleration, really good top speed here for a 300k car. Really good handling, really good rate. Really, just a really overall around really good car. Honestly, you can get this car and then grind up straight to your first $1 million vehicle. So, I think I'd recommend going for this one. Maybe getting Lambo, or maybe just stick with the Model 3 and grinding up to this one would be worth it, to be honest. This is honestly a really good car, especially in the price range that it's in. We don't really have a good midway car from Lamborghini to Bugatti, and now that we have this one, I'd recommend this car 100%. Very good car.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Now it's not our car, but also, as for about 150k, you can get yourself the Little Bird, which I think is definitely a good investment. Little Bird used to be so much more worth it though, because this would allow you to betterly rob the cargo plane, or not the cargo plane, the cargo boat. This would allow you to rob the cargo boat better, and it used to give like 6-7k back in the day. Now it's kind of sad and doesn't do that, but still, having an aerial vehicle is really useful in a server with a lot of cops. You don't get pit maneuvered, it's got a good speed. If you still want to rob cargo boat, it's small, so you would get hit by the missiles less. Honestly, Little Bird, I think, still worth it to this day. It's a nice flying vehicle. It's better to have this than to count on maybe being one of the free helicopters, just those can be easily stolen. Little Bird can't. So I think Little Bird is definitely a good option as far as a cheap aerial vehicle goes before you can get drone or a military helicopter. So I'd recommend it. It also opens it up where you can better rob cargo boat, traverse around the map pretty quickly, you can get out of areas pretty quickly, you can even fly this easily into the volcano base, which is very useful if there's cops camping. So I'd recommend getting Little Bird if you want a good cheap aerial vehicle. Little Bird's definitely worth it. Okay, so this one's gonna come as no surprise to anyone, but the Eclair is definitely one of the best purchasable vehicles you can get. About 500k in Joe, $500,000. It's a very good car, very good acceleration, very good handling, very good braking, amazing top speed. You could honestly go from Model 3 to this and then just easily go up to your 1 mil vehicle. Eclair is honestly just amazing, and it's just one of the best cars for the price. Honestly, I would choose Eclair over Roadster if I'm being honest, but Roadster does have some pretty cool perks, and we'll go over that in a second. But Eclair, definitely one of the best 500,000 vehicles you can get, so I'd recommend going to Eclair if you can. Not only that, but it's a really good looking car, and you can make a lot of different customizations to look really good on it. So Eclair, definitely one of my top 5 recommended purchasable vehicles. But for 100k more, you can get yourself the Roadster, and it's probably the best vehicle. I would say this is honestly a really good vehicle. It has crazy good acceleration, really good top speed, really good stopping. Easily go from robbery to robbery and get around the map with this. You know, you can easily escape most cops in this as well. Just don't put all radiant colors on it because I'll hate you forever. Yeah. But honestly, for 100k more than the Eclair, it really just comes down to personal preference, what you want. But definitely would recommend going for Roadster. I think it's a really good car. It has really good speed. Really good speed, really good, you know, acceleration, top speed, handling, braking. Very nice to have a car that won't fling across the parking lot when you're trying to park your car at a robbery location. You can just easily do that, hop out, and go to the robbery. So Roadster, definitely probably recommending this one. You get a lot of money. You get a lot more money. The next one is Successor. For about 50k more than Roadster, this is honestly better than Bugatti, the Bugatti and the Roadster. It's got really good acceleration, really good looking car. It's based off a Ford GT. So it looks really good. Can really do a lot of customizations. Has good top speed, really good acceleration, really good stopping too. So honestly, if you already have the Eclair, I'd maybe just recommend going. If you're thinking about getting Roadster, honestly, I recommend grinding for the extra 50k because Successor is going to be just so much more worth it. It's not even funny. This car is just so much more better all the way around. It's Successor, really good car. Looks really good too. So Blackhawk is just really good. So it's got really good speed for the aerial vehicle. Best, you know, I think, speed for what you get out of it. It is a bit of a larger helicopter though, so it does have some trouble fitting into some areas and traversing through city lines, but it's really good nonetheless, especially if you have like a nice group of friends that you grind with. Blackhawk is just definitely really worth it just for all the seating. Very nice to drop in with some criminal friends into the prison, start, you know, chopping down on those cops or whatever you do. So YouTube will get mad at me if I say a certain word. But Blackhawk's definitely really worth it. My only problem with it is it does have problem fitting into Volcano Base, which can be a problem if there's cops chasing you in there or cops camping around there. It's hard to get in and out. So, you know, it's a little bit difficult, but really worth it. Also, it goes the highest out of any other helicopter in the game. So if you're getting chased by another cop in another helicopter, then you'll be pretty safe from them if you're in a Blackhawk. So I would definitely recommend going for this one. However, I'm pretty sure it comes as no surprise that I'd recommend the Volt Bike over any other $1 million vehicle, just because of how crazy good the Volt Bike is. Some things that make this really good is its acceleration and the fact that when you're trying to turn your money in, it doesn't flip all over the place like other cars. It stays stuck to the ground. You can drive down this whole mountain and you won't flip out, and you're able to easily go and turn your money. Makes it really useful for power plant. You can easily get about 6 days from power plant using Volt Bike. It's the best acceleration. It's easy to traverse around small areas as I run into a rock, which was probably the best way to demonstrate it. It can easily run around the map. It can go around tight areas, really easily traverse through everything. Make quick turns, you know, really easy to juke out cops on. So yeah, Volt Bike is probably the best $1 million vehicle you can buy as your first one. The only one that would probably come close would be the one I'm about to explain next. But as Volt Bike goes, I'd recommend getting it as your first $1 million vehicle. It's the best one, and there's no debate about it. It's literally the best because it makes it so easy to be able to go from robbery to robbery and to easily turn in your money. And you get to slide right through the gates in Volcano Base, making a quick, easy entrance and exit. Volt Bike, definitely recommend it. The only other vehicle that I would recommend, close second to Volt Bike, would be the drone. As it's able to also it's a flying vehicle that goes really fast. It's easy to traverse around. The map can fit in the Volcano Base, easier than you can with the military helicopter. The only reason I would say get drone over Volt Bike is if you have a friend that you grind with a lot, and he doesn't have a really good car, then hop in a drone. You know, drone's really good. It's really good if you got a friend, but I choose Volt Bike over drone. But still, drone's very good. I'd recommend it. It can't go that high, and it can only go about as high as around the surface. But still, really good aerial vehicle. Able to get away easily from cops, can't be pit maneuvered. So drone, probably second best $1 million vehicle you can get. So I definitely recommend it. The first one on the list I'm gonna go over is Ape Departure. This car is crazy good. This car is really good. It has really cool light effect on the back, so you know that's pretty cool. Really good acceleration, really good handling, really good just all-around vehicle. Also has probably the best demand and for a $2.5 million value trade value. So this is a solid car to also have in inventory as far as trading small ads goes. Everyone loves Ape Departure. It's really good. The next car I'd recommend is Power 1. Now, Power 1 has been a little bit on the rise recently. It's been a little bit on the rise. It's been, you know, going up in value. But Power 1 is definitely one of my favorite cars as far as looks goes. Really good looks. Really good speed. Really good handling. Really good acceleration. Power 1 is definitely a solid vehicle to go after, and I'd recommend it. It's also, you know, a nice car to grind with. Goes pretty fast too. Ape Departure's still better than Power 1. Power 1's definitely there. And at $8.5 million trade value, you can definitely flip this around to get another really good car being M12. M12 can easily trade Power 1 to M12 or M12 to Power 1. But M12 is probably one of the best vehicles in the game.
Someone was detected at your front door.
M12 was probably one of the best cars, limited cars in the game. It has pretty stable demand, pretty good value too. Everyone likes M12. M12 is probably one of the most interesting looking cars in the game, but it definitely looks one of the coolest. And I'd recommend M12. M12 is faster than Power 1 as well. Good acceleration, good braking. M12, definitely recommend it. Now another car I recommend that I don't think a lot of people talk about enough is Snake. I think Snake is underrated, and I don't think enough people can appreciate it. It looks really cool, first of all. It has a really good top speed. It has really good braking. Snake is honestly underrated. I don't see enough people going around driving Snake. I think Snake is completely worth it. It's really cheap trade value as well compared to everything else I've showed so far at about a 1.5 million trade value, so it's really easy to get this car. But I don't think enough people talk about Snake. I think Snake's really good. I definitely run around and grind with Snake as well. And I think as far as looks goes as well, Snake is definitely like a car I'd recommend going for because it's easy to try to get. You can start trading. It's also just a really good car in general, and I think it's underrated. So Snake, I'd recommend going for Snake as well. Now another car I also recommend is Persian. Speaking of about 4 million trade value, Persian is definitely one of the fastest cars in the game. Its acceleration is pretty slow compared to other cars. If you're not already kind of going about 80, you can easily probably get pit maneuvered by a roadster. So, you know, you gotta be going pretty fast, But Persian's definitely one of the most unique sounding cars, probably one of the coolest looking cars. It's nice that we have an endurance racing car, and we don't have any more of them, unfortunately. But Persian is definitely worth it, and I'd recommend it. So, Persian is definitely a car I'd recommend trading for and trading up for, as Persian's also really good for just ads. But overall, Persian's a good car to use for grinding and a good car to go trade for, so I'd recommend Persian as well. Now I know everyone was probably expecting this car, I'm gonna be honest. Bayonet, I hear a lot of people say it's overrated, but it is probably the best well-balanced car in all of JailBreak. It has really good speed, really good braking, really good handling. The whole thing about Bayonet is just, it's the best balanced vehicle in the whole game. And I think Bayonet is probably one of the best vehicles to grind with, as it can go really fast, accelerate really fast, brake really fast, pick up speed really quickly, which is in acceleration, so I don't know why I said that. But Bayonet is probably one of the best vehicles you can grind with in JailBreak, because it's the best well-rounded vehicle in the game. So I'd recommend going for a Bayonet. It is a little steep on trading value for about 2.5 mil. It does fluctuate a lot in value, in demand, but it's a very solid car to grind with, so I would definitely recommend it. If you were thinking about trading up to it, I would definitely recommend Bayonet, because it is the best well-rounded vehicle in all of JailBreak. I don't think many people are expecting this one. I don't see many people using Seltzer, and I think Seltzer is definitely a very good situational vehicle. It's a spawnable flying car that is just kind of a worse version of a drone, but it's very useful since you can spawn this car if you have the Pro Garage Game Pass. It's very useful that you're able to spawn this vehicle and start flying away. I've used it many times if there have been a situation of camping cops in areas like a casino, bank, jewelry store. It's very easy to spawn this and fly away. And a lot of cops don't know how to counter this vehicle, which I think is a plus. So I would definitely recommend Seltzer. It's also around the same value as Bayonet, around the 20 millions. Its demand has been a little bit low, but I heard it's rising. So Seltzer's a little complicated to get. But I think Seltzer's definitely one of the best situational cars if there's camping cops in the server, as it's very easy to just spawn this and fly away. I think also as it's one of the most unique type of cars in JailBreak that we don't really get a lot of. So Seltzer I think is overall worth it, and I'd recommend getting Seltzer. But I wouldn't recommend having. The only problem with Seltzer is it's pretty slow. It's the slowest aerial vehicle in the game. So I would not recommend going for Seltzer if it's the only car that you have to grind with. Seltzer is more of a car that you would use if there's camping cops in an area or something like that. So Seltzer, more of a situational type vehicle of escaping cops instead of more so going for grinding. But Seltzer's worth it. Also, really quick, on another car I'd recommend that, you know, I don't have, unfortunately, right now, is Proto 8. It's really good top speed, really good braking, and it's also silent, which is pretty cool. So Proto 8's also definitely worth it. Now we're probably into the top 2 best limited vehicles you can grind with first one being Javelin. This being Javelin is crazy good acceleration, crazy good handling. I love the look of Javelin so much based off a Tony said car. I think Javelin's one of the best limited vehicles that we've gotten. It's always pretty high in demand and value. It's about 22.5 million trade value. Jav is just so worth it. You can easily get a Javelin for a Bayonet, and I'd honestly recommend doing that. Javelin is just one of the best looking cars in the game, and one of the best cars in the game, period. So, Javelin, definitely recommend it for grinding. Definitely just recommend it. And I feel like a lot of cops fear criminals and Javelins sometimes. So Javelin's really different police too as well. So it should come as no surprise that the next car I'd be on this list would be Torpedo. Torpedo is basically just Javelin, but accelerates a little bit slower than Javelin, but still is an incredibly fast car. And I feel like Torpedo got some handling problems. It can't really make those tight turns as well as Javelin can. But nonetheless, Torpedo is definitely really recommended, and I like the look of the old cars, and I think Torpedo is a really nice looking car. It is a little steep on the trade value though, being around the 30 millions. And there's a lot of duped ones going out there, but if you're using cars for grinding, then the car being duped doesn't really matter. It's not like it affects the speed or anything. So Torpedo is definitely a must, as I think Javelin and Torpedo are one of the best limited vehicles to grind with. And of course, obviously we can't forget the Camaro. It's one of the best vehicles to grind with. Duh. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, that has been my best vehicles to grind with list. Someone recommended I did this video, and I just gave my personal opinion. This is just from my personal experience. In the servers I've been in, those cars just seem to work really well for me, so I'd honestly, But that has been it. If you enjoyed, make sure you liked and you subscribed, and you maybe turn on notifications. Also, you want to join the Discord, like I said at the start of the video, in the description below. It's pretty cool. We'll be doing cool stuff over there, like events, so you can win prizes and stuff like that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, see ya. Peace. Bye. Adios. Bye.